Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. I'm, of course, the Battle Room. And today we're going to break down some themes. So, this was the first international of the season. LAIC just concluded. Extremely hype tournament, extremely hype finals. And I'm excited to break these teams down to talk about a little bit of Reg H action. We're almost done. We're almost through Regulation H. Now, I personally love Regulation H a lot. I've day 2'd every single tournament in it. I've top cut twice. I like it. I might be biased, but I like it. So let's talk about these teams. I do think that Regulation H has a lot to give, and it's been kind of fun seeing the trajectory of it. It does give me a little bit of hope for Regulation F. I'm excited to play that one as well, even though I didn't really like it the first time around. So let's break down some teams. So first up, we got Javier here using none other than the Killer Bear team. This team I absolutely adore. This was the team that I used to top cut Las Vegas regionals. I used at Milwaukee as well to make day 2. I love this team. It really is just, it's just so beautiful. It's so perfectly made. So let's break it down a little bit. So basically the way the team functions is like, I feel like it's truly an Urseluna team. Obviously you don't have to bring Urseluna every time, it's not required, but Urseluna really shines. You have Tail Room with Kilowattrel plus Urseluna. The synergy here is also just disgusting. Like competitive next to the bear is really obnoxious to deal with. And I think that Kilowattrel, it's a great team preview mon, but also in function, I think that the Sash Kilowattrel set just makes it so good. Tailwind's all but guaranteed. It's one of the fastest Pokemon in the format. It outspeeds stuff like Sneasler. Getting that Tailwind off is just so easy with the bird. But when you don't want to press Tailwind, you have Trick Room here. And I think what sets this team apart from it really is just this dual modes team, but it's so obnoxious, right? Because if you call the wrong mode, you're just fucked, dude. You're straight up just fucked, right? If you call the Trick Room mode and you lead, let's say, like Amoonguss or Taunt Incineroar, leading that into Kilowattrel can feel really bad, right? It can feel terrible. So I feel like the modes just complement each other so nicely. Golden Go is this perfect bridge that gives the Tailwind mode a little bit more oomph and a little bit more damage, but it also adds this, it kind of adds a third mode as well of Protect the Goldie with Incin Amoonguss Goldie. It's just such a nasty combination. It also adds that middle, the speed tiers on this team, exquisite, right? It adds that middling speed, which I think is pretty nice because you have the pretty slow P2, slow Amoonguss, right? Bears, around their range, it's a little bit faster than P2. Incineroar is nice and that, a little bit more bump up, outspeeds Blood Moon usually. And then finally, Golden Go, right? He's right here. Not finally, but Golden Go's right here. And then Kilowattrel, he's off the charts, right? You have the slowest Pokemon in the game next to one of the fastest Pokemon in the game. And it just feels incredible. I love this team so much. I think it's partly why I like Regulations H so much, is this team just feels so fair and balanced, and you just kind of get to play good Pokemon with it. So I've never had a complaint with this one. I think it's a great pick. It did just win the Las Vegas Regionals, so I think a lot of people came in with plans into it. Not that it's it's not unbeatable, and you can definitely prep well into it and have a pretty concise matchup. And I think it makes sense that it was still able to make top cut with an exceptionally skilled player, but it didn't end up winning. It just kind of got stuck there. And then next up here, we have Kylin's team. I think this team's pretty wild. The fact that, I just saw the Stealth Rock on an Annihilape, which is absolutely absurd. But Kylin did tweet that this was the same exact 6 Pokemon they used last year at LAIC. Ran that shit directly back a year later. And it's just the Dozo team. But at the same time, I think it's like a Dozo team that you're not necessarily expecting or as prepared for, right? I think Stealth Rock can be particularly nasty into stuff like Incineroar. And then, it's just kind of weird. I don't know, traditionally when I see a Dozo team, I think of the hyper offense or the really strong aggression, right? Trading heavy, which you can definitely do with this Annihilate, right? Final Gambit is an amazing trading tool for Dondozo, right? Getting a KO before Dozo comes in, absolutely nuts. So that's good. But then at the same time, everything else is just kind of fair and balanced. It just kind of softens up the Pokemon. Obviously, this guy can go pretty hard. Same with Dragonite, really. But it just kind of softened things up for Dozo to clean up an endgame. I think it's definitely probably comfort of the team. And then the little bit slightly weird picks make the Dozo team kind of frustrating to play against. I think whenever I play against Dozo, I feel like the most threatening ones are the ones I haven't seen, right? Because once you play one Dozo, you're one version, you're okay, I got it down. I'm figuring out what to do. But Kylin's team is just very different and very weird from all the Dozo teams we're seeing right now. I see a lot of Indeedee Sneasler. I see that like Talonflame Urseluna version I played twice in Las Vegas, so I feel like usually you see that kind of stuff, more aggressive stuff. But I think just being unprepared for this probably, and being comfortable from Kylin's, and allowed him to succeed. Also, Dozo's pretty crazy with Heavy Slam, Terra Steel, and Covert Cloak. Like, I feel like a lot of gameplay into Dozo involves usually like Amoonguss or using Incineroar to lower the attack and just kind of get going from there. But you can't fake him out, and he's just gonna go nuts, right? Like, he makes sure he's always getting use out of his turns of Dozo. I just feel like it's this weird, like, kind of fair balancey team, and the Dozo is like the aggressive mode, right? Like, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna trade heavy in the beginning, and then I'm gonna go nuts with Dozo in the mid game, and then clean up with something that's still alive in the back. I think it's a pretty cool take on Dozo. I'm not a big Dozo fan, but cool. Next up, we have William Brown. I feel like William's had a pretty solid season so far. They top cut Mexico. I believe they got day 2 at Pittsburgh, and then Milwaukee was like a day 1 exit, but then Las Vegas was solid. I feel like they're just always consistently getting day 2, either getting cut or barely missing it. So it kind of makes sense to see William here. I think this team is pretty neat. Like, you have the classic, not the classic, but the newly found tech of Incineroar with Clear Amulet, this close combat set paired with Fergaraf with Throat Spray. It's just a guaranteed Trick Room, and they just do so much damage together, right? It gives you this Trick Room mode that's so obnoxious to deal with, and I think just throwing it on any team is just solid at this point. It's just such a stupid duo. Like, they're so frustrating to deal with. I think what's sick too is, like, you can totally just use them to trade. Like, you don't even have to set up Trick Room, because the threat of Trick Room is so huge that sometimes you can just say, hey, I'm just going to fake out Hyper Voice, turn 2, I'm going to press Hyper Voice again, and just chunk you down as you're trying to deal with my my setup, right? Like, because you're so afraid of Trick Room, I'm just going to deal some damage. And then in the back, he could have Pelipper and Basculegion, or he could any of the other Rain Mons, right? Like, it's a very frustrating team. Also, like, something like Pelipper and Arcaludon do kind of work in Trick Room as well. So I totally think that the Trick Room mode is still there, so you do have to kind of respect it. I think this team just looks like it has a lot of options, right? Like, a lot of threats, a lot of it's like 2/2/2, but like not really, right? Like, Incin Fergraph is really scary. Pelipper, Basculegion, Pelipper, Arcaludon is something you have to respect, and then Dragonite's there just for moral support. Like, he's just a good Pokemon. So I feel like it definitely is like a weird take, and I feel like you could get tripped up in team preview and playing against it. And I feel like William has really like enjoyed Rain, and Rain has been a huge focus for him. So I think just piloting something very similar also just makes a lot of sense. You also do have this weird Dragonite with Terra Fire. Otherwise, that's like the only crazy thing here. I think all the other sets are kind of normal, just traditionally not seen together. But Terra Fire, I feel like this is definitely for Volcarona. You just want to lock that one down, because Volcarona is actually kind of decent in terrain sometimes. But yeah, the Terra Fire is kind of neat with extreme speed as well, which I think is really good. I think this team is just kind of cool. It's a cool take on the Incin Fergraph combo, and then also pairing it with the Rain mode. It just seems kind of sick. I should also mention, like, the way also, like, this Incineroar and Fergraph can just be used in general, right? Like, having Armor Tail, having a Clear Amulet and Incineroar does feel good, and they're just versatile all around. They don't have to be used exclusively with the combo. Next up, we have Agotti. Holy shit. Like, ignore the Politoed. We'll get to him. The other Pokemon here, this is just literally like the Sanvi team that won the last European Regional. It's just a solid good 5 Pokemon. You have Fake Out, you have Volcarona, you have this Choice Scarf Adaptability, Basculegion, and you have Ninetales. It's just like a good, solid 5 Pokemon, right? Encore Disable to help deal with Dozo. It's also nasty with Volcarona, the double Fake Out Brothers to get Volcarona set up, and then a beautiful Firewater Grass Court, right? But then he gets crazy, dude. Agotti just goes crazy style. I feel like Agotti's team building has just become like, he just finds something that he really likes and thinks is so good, and he just brings it to the top, and he just does incredibly well at tournaments. Like, in AIC, his team was off the charts. It was like Screamtail, Koraidon, Calyrex, and the Calyrex was sub-Leech Seed. Yeah, there was an Assault Vest Incineroar, there was a Screamtail. Like, no one would pair these Pokemon together. And Agotti was like, no, this is good. This is lit, right? And Agotti does it again with a Chillinberry? Politoed? He's chilling. He's mad chilling with this set. Okay, for those who do not know, I actually do know what this berry does, but for those who do not know, it reduces normal type moves. So it's like a normal resist berry, which is, it's kind of fucking cool because normally there's an Urseluna here, right? That's what this slot was. But he said, nah, I need Chillinberry Politoed. So it's kind of like a double Urseluna answer, which I think in this format, I respect the idea of. I mean, I think it's sick. I think it's so sick that he did this. But the idea, like, this is the only time, probably since Mega Kangaskhan, that normal moves have been so fucking fire. And so being able to take a Blood Moon or a Facade, I like it. I fuck with it. It's kind of cool, right? Because obviously you can Terra Grass as well for the ground moves. Because usually they only have normal and ground coverage. So boom, you hit the Terra Grass. I don't think you need to most of the time. But if you do, you hit the Terra Grass. And you have the Chillinberry to stop the Blood Moon or the Hyper Voice or the Facade. And then you fire back with the Weather Ball. And both of their special defenses aren't the greatest. The Weather Ball is going to be doing a lot. And also, you might just hit a nasty Whirlpool. This guy has Whirlpool. Whirlpool is, I do think that the spin moves are actually sick. I think that they're kind of underexplored. I don't necessarily know if I have the balls to run Whirlpool or Fire Spin at a tournament, but I think the idea of them in my head, I'm like, I can see how they could work. I think they're not a waste of space, and I think they're pretty cool because it just traps. And I think trapping in VGC is so broken. Like whenever I play against trapping, it like gets me fucking angry, right? So the idea of being able to trap one Pokemon is really cool. The Parasong is fun too because I feel like there is a lot of setup in this format, and being able to set, like shut down something like the enemy Volcarona is sick. Like he kind of looks like he just has a better option in the mirror with this Politoed. And then Parasong is Parasong, right? I think like you don't need to trap. I'm a big fan of just having Parasong. I don't run it a lot anymore. I feel like it's gotten worse over time, but in the past I've run Parasong on teams, especially Politoed, just as a filler move. Like if you don't think you need the other moves, I think Parasong is cool. Like you can set up end games where you say, hey, you can't kill him in time. You have 2. I got 3. I don't need Gothitelle to win this, right? So it's cool. It's cool. It's crazy. But then also, like, you look at it more and you say, it's kind of fucking sick, right? Like, you compare the Politoed with the Basculegion, and this guy's just shitting out damage, right? Like, if I lead Basculegion Volcarona, and I just swap Volcarona to Politoed, and smack you with a fucking rain-boosted adaptability Terra Water Wave Crash, you're not living. It's over. You're dead. You're dead. So I think that, like, he cooked. And, like, if I saw this team in day one, I'd be like, I don't know, man. Maybe he flew too close to the sun, but he once again didn't. Agotti is that guy, and he made this Politoed look insane. And huge congrats to him for cooking up such a spicy set. One of my favorite. Like, it's such a boring team, but at the same time, the Politoed makes it so fun and so cool. And Agotti is such a skilled player, one of the best in the world. So he does it again, baby. He does it. He just blows my mind every time. I'm like, how do you come up with this shit? How did you do that? Genuinely. All right, next up, we got Hans here. We've got the Joe UX9 team, basically. I feel like I always think of this team as like, it reminds me of like Exodia. Like you just want to set up the perfect condition. And that perfect condition, if you can set it up, is just leading Jump of Torkoal. You overheat, you Tailwind, and turn 2, you just start going nuts with the Typhlosion, right? You have the Sun Up, you have Tailwind. You don't even have to. You can just Sleep Powder turn 1 and overheat. Turn 2 Tailwind Eruption, and the game ends, right? I think it's a pretty cool team. I think it's kind of been slept on. I do think that, like, Joe cooked up a pretty fire team. And, like, we've seen some people use it throughout the regulation. It doesn't surprise me either. I feel like a lot of players also just, like, the Marco Sun team has died down quite a bit. So, like, people's Jumpluff matchups could be a little bit weaker, right? Because this team and Marco Sun are the only team that feature Jumpluff. And Jumpluff can be pretty cringe. It can be very annoying. So I could totally see at this point in the meta, they're not respecting Sun, and he's able to just hit those Sleep Powders and fly through the bracket, right? Like, I think Sun can be obnoxious. He's dealing insane damage. If you get hit by Sleep Powder and then this guy comes in, like, what are you supposed to do, right? Like, you have to combat this team, I think, in the builder. You have to have plans. There is a lot of Ninetales, but it doesn't matter when you have Torkoal, Typhlosion. Not really, right? And I think it's just a really solid team outside of that. Like, King Gambit, Dragonite, Garchomp are obnoxious Pokemon to deal with. The Sun mode hates Incineroar. This guy's really great in Incineroar. And I just think that it's just an annoying team to deal with. I've played against Joe in tournament with this team, and goddamn, do I hate playing this team. So I think huge respects to him for piloting this team and making this choice in the meta, because I do think it was kind of a pretty solid call going into this tournament. Next up, we have the only, or I guess not the only American in cut, but the highest placing in American in cut, to no one's surprise, is Justin Tang. I feel like Justin, he's on a heater, man. He is on a heater right now. Is he the best American player right now? That's the question. Maybe. Like, truthfully, I think he probably is. When I was looking at the cut results, I was like, I think Justin is just kind of above everyone right now. He's not winning, right? But I don't think being in Pokemon, I don't think winning. Obviously, everyone wants to win, and I think Justin definitely wants to win. But at the same time, I think winning doesn't necessarily equate to your skill. Sometimes I've seen, like, in every tournament, I think sometimes there's someone who should have won who didn't because the bracket didn't go their way, or they got unlucky, or something happened, right? And I think Pokemon is a game of just crazy odds and just crazy shit that happens all the time. But I think the best you can do, like the most consistent you can be, is to just constantly put yourselves in positions where if you get a little lucky, you win. And I feel like Justin, he's so good. Like, he's cut, I think it was 4 tournaments in a row, right? He cut the first tournament of the year in Mexico. He got top 4. Then he cut Pittsburgh. He cut Las Vegas, and he cut LAIC. He's at 4 cuts in a row. He day 2 Worlds as well. He didn't do, like, day 2 kind of didn't go his way, but still, like, I think he is easily one of the best players in America, if not the best, dare I say it. So yeah, I think Justin, no surprise for me at all here. I totally expected him in this cut, and I don't know when it's going to end, dude. He's just going to keep cutting, but his team was pretty cool. I think this team has been something that him and his boys have been cooking crazy. Kylin cooked something in the wild here with the Tailwind Volcarona paired with the Specs Golden Go. Specs Golden Go not really super popular right now, paired with this Life Orb Blood Moon. I feel like this team is just all about pairing Blood Moon or Golden Go next to the speed control, and then you just do lots of damage, right? Like, that's an option that you have, because you have triple speed control. You have Thunder Wave and screen. Sometimes you don't even need a Thunder Wave. You can just set up a screen and do lots of damage, or you can set up Tailwind and do lots of damage, or you can set up Tailwind to do lots of damage, right? We have double Tailwind. We have a ton of damage mitigation, whether it's this screens with Grimmsnarl. No one's using Grimmsnarl, dude. I don't think he's in the tournament outside of the people using this team. Archaludon spamming Snarl, and then Golden Go and Urseluna just hold down the fort, deal the damage. I think this team is very fluid. It has a lot of options, right? Like, looking at a team preview, I'm stressed. I'm stressed the fuck out. Like, is he going to side scale shot his Archaludon? Is he going to lead screens plus Golden Go? How am I dealing with that? Is he leading screens plus Urseluna? How am I dealing with that? Is he leading Tailwind Volcarona plus Urseluna? Like, he has endless options, and I think it just has there's so much overload in team preview, and he's able to just kind of find the right route and find the right options for him. I know a lot of people did use this team. I believe Joe did. Giovanni, the world champion, did as well. And Chongjun also used it, but Justin comes out on top, gets that 6th place finish, top 8s in IC. I think his time's coming. I mean, his time's always coming. He's won 3 regionals in like 4 years. He's an incredible player, and his time's coming, bro. He's gonna win one of these ICs. He's gonna win Worlds. I don't know, dude. I think Justin is an incredible player, and I really do think he is. Whatever he's doing exactly right. I don't want to say he doesn't need to get better, but like, he is doing everything he needs to do, and I think it's seriously just like he's going to keep putting up those performances, and it's just a matter of time until he just wins a big tournament. Next up, we have Oliver. Oliver's been kind of a terror. This team is also absurd, by the way, but Oliver also top cut the Las Vegas regionals with this crazy fucking team. I also think he did incredibly well in the GC as well. I don't remember if he was using this team at the other European tournament. Pardon me, I'm not fully familiar with that. But, you know, he's been doing great. This team is crazy. It's another team that, like, just looks like horrible to play against, right? We have a ton of deadly combos here. Oliver's playing Sword and Shield, okay? He's playing Sword and Shield. He's got Dusclops, Venusaur. 2 Pokemon that I just don't think you see, like, in competitive Pokemon at the moment, right? Dusclops, he was pretty solid in Sword and Shield, you know, last generation. We're not in that generation anymore, but he's still using it. I think he's just unkillable. That's the trait of Dusclops. He's unkillable. He gets awesome moves. Pain Split is brutal. Haze is awesome as well. Just to remove Intimidate. It's a little less useful on this team, but it also deals with Dondozo. Nightshade, just consistent damage. This guy's just a tank, right? He sets up Trick Room, Torkoal goes nuts. I think that's the main plan. But then at the same time, you also have this Venusaur that you pair with Torkoal. It's moving first. I think the coverage is deadly, not to mention Sleep Powder. If you're getting, it's kind of like the Jump Fluff thing, where I think, again, Marco's Sun has just taken a dip, and that was the big Sun team. That's the big Sleep Powder. And people are like, you know what? I'm gonna say I don't need a good matchup in Marco Sun, and so I feel like the Venusaur is just kind of really well positioned right now. Sleep Powder is being a little bit disrespected, and I think Oliver is also just really comfortable and confident with this team. But yeah, you have this Torkoal Venusaur combo that's just annoying. Like, Helping Hand, Weather Ball, Earth Power, like Fire, Ground, and Grass coverage is absurd, especially paired with Helping Hand. And then if you just Sleep Powder and Eruption, like, what are you doing? You know, like, he's got endless options there. The Dragonite's doing a ton of damage. He pairs it with the Annihilape as well, which is another deadly combo, right? Like, you have to respect the Coaching plus Dragonite. But Coaching plus Incineroar is also incredibly good, right? That's a lot of damage. That's something you have to respect. He also has Sun to pair with the Incineroar. Incineroar can do a lot of damage. Like, believe it or not, this Pokemon does go crazy. You can coach it. The Annihilape deters Incineroar, who I think is incredible into this team a little bit, right? Like, it gives you options. He's really hard to kill with that Sash. I think Coaching Taunt is a deadly combo. I think this is a cool set to run and bring back for this tournament. Pairing it with this D-Knight, pairing with this Incineroar, it just looks like a nightmare team. Like, I am overwhelmed. If I put this team on the ladder right now, I think I'd be overwhelmed with how many awesome options I have in every team. So, great team from Oliver. Congrats to him for going so deep in this tournament as well. And then next up here, we have Teayot. This was a player that got second to Sanvi in the 6-mon year. So, like, I'm sure he wanted to win the regional. I'm sure he was pretty sad about it. But at the same time, like, he's having a good season. He's playing extremely well. He has an extremely solid run already in a second place at regional. He follows it up with a top 4 at an internet. This guy's someone to watch. Like, I mean, I think he's been pretty solid for a while now. I feel like he's one of those players that's always getting cut, but maybe losing a little bit early so you don't necessarily see them, or just like losing in top 8. I feel like he's so solid. He's an incredible French player, and I think he just plays this kind of standard Mons just extremely well. And this team is just so good, right? I don't think it really should have ever died off. I don't think it did die off. It just didn't do super amazing at Vegas, but you know, he was using it before it was cool, and he piloted it incredibly well. The idea, simple. Fake out, set up. Fake out, set up. Damage, set up. Yawn, good. It's a simple team, right? You have Hail, you have this Encore Disable stuff. This is very similar to, this is like the OG version of the Agotti team. So I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, like Agotti obviously had that crazy Politoed over the Urseluna, but obviously Urseluna is Urseluna. It's one of the best Pokemon in the game. So congrats to him for doing so well. It's just a very simple team. Lots of setup, lots of disruption, right? Like the Scarf-based Ski Legion does so much damage that it's just hard to deal with all the tools that this team has. This was a team that I was incredibly afraid to face in Las Vegas myself because there's just a ton of options, tons of fake out, tons of yawn and disruption with that. You also have this Encore Disable Ninetales that you have to respect and play well into. I think Encore is one of the greatest moves in the game. So having to respect Encore, always thinking about it, always making sure you don't mess up. It's also obnoxious to kill with this Focus Sash. And I think changing the weather is really, really powerful in this format. I just think this team's great. I don't have too much to say. It's clearly just a Volcarona team. So Yuya is a crazy good player. Yuya Tada is so consistent and so solid. And no surprise, once again, they make it to an IC cut. It's what they're doing every time. Flying all the way from Japan to complete an LAIC. They also recently just got second at the most recent Australian regional, I believe with the same 6 Pokemon. I know it's, I'm like 99% sure it's the same 6. I don't know if they made slight changes, but I think it's a sick team. I think this is just an Urseluna team at its core, right? You have Tailwind with Pelipper. You have Trick Room with Fergraph. But then you also have Sinestia for Rage Powder Trick Room to help support Urseluna, and Incineroar to help set up the speed control, or just fake out while Urseluna's on the board, right? Getting those intimidates off, keeping this guy alive as long as you can. There's like five pieces, or 4 pieces, right, that are here just to protect Urseluna and enable this Urseluna Blood Moon. I feel like Life Orb Blood Moon is just not as popular as it once was, but, you know, Yuya bringing it back, I think it's still strong, obviously. It's still a good Pokemon, but there's been a lot of favoritism towards the Yawn set. AV has kind of died off as well. Blood Moon Urseluna just feels like it's not as popular as the regular one, but Yuya said, nah, dude, this shit's still fire. Locks it in and gets top 4 at an IC at the beginning of the year, solidifying their Worlds Invite as well. That's a big deal. I feel like the Japanese players who fly to these tournaments, locking up that Worlds Invite just probably relieves them of so much stress. Their circuit is just complete garbage and ass, but you lock it in here, you just get top 4 on internet, you're going to Worlds. Doesn't matter where you're from, you're going to Worlds. So I think this team's sick. Like, it's got a lot of modes, right? You have to respect Pelipper, Arcaludon, and Sinestia. Like, Sinestia can keep this guy going. Because I feel like Arcaludon's biggest issue is like that he just can't protect, and sometimes he just has to eat a fake out plus a hit. But Sinesha helps that out a lot, and Incineroar helps that out a lot. You can enable Arcaludon really well, and then you can also just enable this Urseluna. I think this team is really cool. I think it's actually pretty similar to one of the finalist teams we'll talk about in a second here. But yeah, I don't really think there's too much to say. Speed control, keep that bear going. Pretty simple stuff. And now we have our finalists. So this website isn't updated yet, but the finals did occur. And Juan Solerno was in second here. With the team that he's been using for a while, I feel like I don't think anyone's sleeping on him this year. He's had an incredible, incredible season. I don't remember his first regional, if it was the most recent European regional, because he did fly over there to just compete against Europe's best. Ended up finishing top 4 with the same team. Then last weekend, he played at a LATAM regional and was able to finish second place there. So he's got top 4, second, and then follows it up with a second place finish at LAIC. An incredible, incredible run. Like, of 3 back-to-back tournaments, that's nuts. Also, like, not only was it a European regional and a Latin American regional, but it was also an IC. Absolutely absurd. This is just the, like, kind of boring team that we started with originally in this format. Like, this was the team that was the team to beat at the beginning, right? It's got that flying Terragrass, or the Terra Flying Sneasler paired with the Grassy Seed Rillaboom, or the Grassy Seed on Sneasler paired with Rillaboom, so it can do tons of damage, go incredibly fast with Unburden, and then you have just like 2 fake out guys. The original team had a Alolan Ninetales, but this team does not. You have 2 fake out guys to just enable Sneasler. You have 2 fake out guys to enable Golden Go. You kind of just pick which setup you want, and then you have this beautiful Yawn Urseluna that is just incredibly disruptive, hard to kill with Intimidate, hard to kill with Grassy Terrain and Leftovers, so it's unkillable. It's sitting there forever, and it's just going absolutely nuts. This is the Blood Moon, like, Yawn team that kind of just made this Urseluna set one of the most popular and one of the best ones. But instead of Ninetales, Juan pairs it out with Dragonite, which I think is kind of weird, but at the same time, I think it does make some sense. It gives you a nice little bit of speed control with Tailwind. Obviously, Ninetales did as well. It gives you Haze, I think, which can be pretty incredible just to remove enemy setup or your own Intimidates on your Sneasler, Incineroar, Rillaboom. You gotta be a little careful. You can remove that Grassy Seed. But yeah, I think it's kind of a weird pick to put the Dragonite there. I don't think a lot of people really lean towards that, but it clearly has worked out a lot for Juan, and he's just gonna lock in comfort at this point, and I don't blame him. He's had 2 incredible runs at regionals already. His team's like meta enough, but slightly off. I don't think necessarily people are as worried about something like this. Even the Ninetales version has died off quite a bit, and I think people are like, I'll beat it if I have to play it. It's kind of a skill matchup anyways, but he came to this tournament to play, and he showed his skills. He beat all the other matchups. He made it to finals, which is incredible. And I think this team just really, like, lets a good player be good. I think we've seen it a lot. I think a lot of good players have succeeded with it. Obviously, the original team was the LAIC team. He won the regional with it. We also seen players like Lorcy and Alex Durant pop off crazy style with this team, right? Like, they found a lot of success with it. Like, they had Ninetales, of course, but it was similar pieces, right? And I think it just lets a good player be good. And that's all you can ask for. I think sometimes that's all you need, and it's something he's comfortable and confident with, and I think it makes sense to see him. You know, I mean, I was pretty shocked to see him go as deep as he did, but I think it makes sense. Looking at his old placement, like the recent placements, he's on a tear right now, and that confidence is sky high, and he is able to make it to second place, which is no easy feat in a tournament this stacked. And finally, we have our champion, Yuma Kinugawa. Oh my god, this guy, he looked incredible this weekend. Like, he looked like the best player in the tournament, like, by far. I watched a couple of his sets, and every single time I was just blown away with how good he was playing in the tournament. And it's no surprise that he won. The team is pretty crazy. Yuma is known for running weird and kind of crazy shit. At Worlds, he ran Terra-Fighting Zamazenta. He kind of revived Smeargle for the tournament before. He actually won the Japanese National Championships, which I think is hella impressive. So I feel like he is just truly one of the best players, if not the best player in Japan right now. He's always been known to be godlike and really, really good at the game. And I think this year alone has showed how fucking fearsome. I didn't mention, he also got top 8 at NAIC. So he won Japan Nats, top 8 NAIC. Worlds, I think he started out, I think he was 5-0 and went 5-3 or something. He barely missed cut. I heard day 2, but then he came back with a vengeance, and my god, he destroyed this tournament. He did go to Vegas as well. Made day 2, didn't make it into cut, but he came with a vengeance. I think his team is so sick. I think it's so cool. I think it's pretty strong right now too. I think a lot of the choices he made were incredibly intelligent. We'll just go through it one by one. Typhlosion, choice specs. This guy we don't need to say much, right? This guy does damage. That's all he's designed to do, and that's all he needs to do, right? He's there to just shit out eruptions in the sun, right? Typhlosion, easy Pokemon. Whimsicott, I think some of the choices here were incredible. The moveset, not too crazy. Sunny Day, Moonblast, Encore, Tailwind. You kind of need all those moves. I think they're all good. But where the sauce comes in here is the held item, the Burberry Berry. An absolutely insane pick, but I think a really, really cool one, right? Like, this is an item that gives you a lot of an edge, a huge edge in the Golden Go matchup. There's not a lot of steel moves, Flash Cannon, Golden Go, but I think being able to take and make it rain is ginormous, right? Like, I remember when I was in Las Vegas playing against Whimsicott, they committed their Terra to live to make it rain, which was annoying. And I think sometimes just living that one extra hit is really, really huge. And Yuma says, that's very important. But I don't want to commit Terra. I just want to live the hit with a Burberry Berry. Such a smart and cool tech, cool option. It really is only for Golden Go. Again, there's like, I literally, when I saw this, I said, what steel moves are in the format? And I said, oh, Golden Go. And I was like, that's it. That's all you need. Terra Ghost obviously makes a lot of sense because you need to be able to dodge Fake Out because you don't have Covert Cloak now or Protect. Incineroar, it's Incineroar. He's the best Pokemon of all time. Moveset boring, item boring. Makes a lot of sense though. I think Incineroar pairs incredibly well with Typhlosion. Gives you those extra turns to fire off eruptions and it weakens opponents. Also pairs incredibly well with Blood Moon and Farigiraf to help that Trick Room go up if you need it. Next up is Urseluna. I think kind of like the central, like Typhlosion you'd think would be the focal point of this team, but I think the way he was playing Blood Moon was just on another level. I think the way he used the pressure and the threat of Blood Moon was, oh my god, dude, it was awesome to watch. Like, he was very, very skilled with this Pokemon, and I think Blood Moon was the star of the show when I was watching his sets. So I think Blood Moon is super important. This set's super simple, right? It's just doing lots of damage. Life Orb, Terra Normal. You want insane Blood Moons, insane Hyper Voices, and that's all you need. And then you have Earth Power because you want that coverage. Ground normal coverage with Mind's Eye is absolutely absurd. Next up, we got Farigiraf, Citrus Berry, Terra Water, nothing too crazy. Armor Tail, of course. And then the moveset gets a little wild. So, like, Psychic, Helping Hand, Trick Room, pretty standard, makes sense. You want your damaging move. You want Helping Hand to enable Typhlosion, because although this team does have Trick Room and it has a Trick Room mode, I think more often than not you're going to try to lean more into the Tailwind, or you're leaning into just using Farigiraf as a blocker of the priority moves, right? Fake Out is so prevalent. We see a lot of the Incineroar in the format. But if you're blocking those moves with Armor Tail, that's lit. You don't really need Trick Room all the time. And then Helping Hand enables that Typhlosion. But then Nightshade. Nightshade is... Fuck, man. That's crazy. That's a crazy pick. I didn't even know the Pokemon got Nightshade, let alone that he would win the LAIC with Nightshade. So Nightshade, I think, primarily is just to help against, like, Incineroar or Dark types in general, or just, like, normal types too, where you're just dealing a lot of damage. 50 HP is a lot, right? Like, 50 HP is nothing to laugh at. Incineroar has about 200 most of the time. So you're doing about 25% of Incineroar's HP. Now, that doesn't seem crazy good, right? That doesn't seem broken. But at the same time, what are you running? Foul Play, Psychic, Dazzling Gleam? Like, you're just not doing a lot of damage to Incineroar as it is. But Nightshade, you could help set up KOs. That could be actually very, very relevant in breaking sashes, doing that guaranteed damage, you know? I think it just makes it more consistent. A crazy pick nonetheless. And then finally, another goated call from Yuma here is this Flamigo. The Flamigo is so sick. I think Flamigo is really, really well positioned. I think in general, Wide Guard is such a good move in this format. It just shuts down Golden Go by itself. It shuts down these eruptions, a lot of the popular moves in the format. But then it also does allow you to run... like, it just needs Wide Guard. So you can kind of fill out the moveset with whatever you want, right? You still have Scrappy, so Golden Go is just getting eaten up, right? Like, Golden Go is just unbringable here. It's risky to bring Golden Go into Typhlosion and Flamigo. But then you also have Feint to just make use of your Tailwind, right? To enable Urseluna, to enable Typhlosion, to just sweep an opponent. So I think the Feint is a really, really cool tech move as well. Opting for no flying move whatsoever. Close Combat is the only attacking move, so he said, you know what? I don't need to worry about getting faked out. I have Farigiraf. I just need more damage. So it's Terra fighting Flamigo with that Close Combat as its only attacking move. Well, technically Feint is an attacking move, but yeah, you're able to just hit just insane Close Combats. Fun fact about Flamigo too, which I think is kind of neat, is that, like, sometimes there are boards that have double ghosts, but Flamigo can break Ghost Protect with Feint, right? Like, not even just double ghost, I was thinking about wide guard, but in general, like, you can feint a golden go, and there's nothing he can do about it. That protection will be broken, so another really cool interaction. And I think just genius, incredible team building here from Yuma. It was just a pleasure to watch him play. I uploaded the finals already on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. It's just beautiful. I'm going to be uploading his top 8 set and top 4 set this week. I'm just like, it's just incredible Pokemon to watch. And if you haven't seen him play, you definitely should. This guy is a talent at this game. I think the Japanese players are just incredibly fun to watch in general, but I also think like Yuma specifically is just so gifted, and I think he was just mind reading his opponents. It was some beautiful Pokemon. Congrats to Yuma for winning the whole thing. Thank you for watching this far. If you stuck around, thank you. I appreciate it greatly. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a ton. And we'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.